What's up, Sneaky Nation? Sneaky P here, back with all the news after week number 6 here in year number 2 of our San Francisco 49ers franchise, where the 49ers picked up a victory over the Tennessee Titans. Let's check out some highlights. On 1st and 10 down the right side, Kirkland Marion with the reception to the 45-yard line, and then my game glitched out the actual play, but for whatever reason the recording software did get the highlights, so luckily we got the Willie Snead touchdown here. I don't know what the issue was that my recording software didn't record about 10 seconds of play. I apologize. There was nothing I could do. The 49ers would go on top 7-0, but DeMarco Bullitt, the rookie out of LSU, would answer with a touchdown of his own. 7-7 would be the score. That was good for about 64 yards for the rookie out of LSU, but the Titans were not done there. DeMarco Murray, a monster game on the ground for the Titans, running all over the 49ers defense. Here he is again, and that would set up a Tennessee Titan field goal, which is actually pretty key because as much as the 49ers struggled throughout the game defensively, they really picked up their efforts in the red zone, holding the Titans to a lot of field goals. That would be the first of many. And then, of course, giving the ball right back. Not a good read by Colin Kaepernick there. Avery Williamson would get the interception, and that would set the Titans up with another DeMarco Murray run again. He had a big game down the left side. That was good for a 14-yard gain, and that would set up another Tennessee Titans field goal. 13-7 would be the score, but the 49ers would look to answer, and here is Kirkland Marion down the right side of the field. He would take it to the 44-yard line of Titan territory. Then on 2nd down and 10, Dimitri Todman fighting through 3 tackles on the play to get his 5th touchdown of the season. 14-13, the 49ers would take the lead, but the Titans have some time to work with before halftime. The rookie Benedict down the left side of the field would take it to the 47-yard line. Then Jace Amaro down the field. That would set up this play here on 3rd and 1, the sack by the 49ers defense. That would hold the Titans to another field goal, or so you thought. Demetrius McCray getting the block. Marcus Gesser, the rookie undrafted free agent, would pick the ball off the ground and take it to the house with about a minute to go. The 49ers go on top 21-13. Instead of a 2-point deficit. Now the Titans have some time before halftime trying to make something happen, but Marcus Gesser making another play, getting the interception for the 49ers defense, and we would go into halftime 21-13. Marcus Gesser, not even a safety, forced to play there with some injuries, but that would be it. 21-13 early on in the 3rd. Matthews down the left side of the field. He would take it all the way to the 9-yard line. But once again, 49ers defense, 3rd and goal, pressure on the way, and DeForest Buckner would get the sack on Mariota. Titans forcing to, or having to settle for another field goal. 21-16 would be the score. The Titans will have the ball back here, and DeMarco Murray with another big run. The Titans would have to punt the ball away, though. The 49ers would take over, and Kirkland Marion, looking at DeMarco Murray running all over the 49ers defense, thinks he would return the favor to the Titans defense. A 65-yard touchdown run for the rookie out of Ohio State, and that would make it a 2-possession game. The Titans would answer with another field goal, so 28-19 is the score here, and the Titans are still very much in this with about 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Mariota throwing on the run, and Mike Morgan would get the interception for the 49ers defense. That would set the 49ers up here. 1st down and 10 on the right side. Willie Snead would pick up the 1st down, and then down by the goal line, it'll be 3rd and 2. Colin Kaepernick is going to take it himself into the end zone. Touchdown for the 49ers. Now they will go for 2. It was not converted. This does come back to haunt the 49ers a little bit. 34-19. This is the rookie Benedict down the field to the 17-yard line. Then on 3rd and 21, Benedict getting behind the defense into the end zone. Touchdown for the Titans. And just like that, we have a 1-possession game. Once again, the Titans need the ball here, and Aaron Burbridge will recover for the 49ers. Carlos Hyde on the right side will get the crucial 1st down, and all of a sudden the Titans could no longer stop the clock. 34 to 26 is going to be the final score, and the 49ers improved to 2-3 on the season. The Titans falling to 3-3 on the year. 49ers, though, have another big game ahead of them, and they are looking to practice here. If the 49ers can get a win against a Giants team that is currently struggling, the 49ers are right back in this season here, so it is certainly important that they can make some things happen. We already had the gold on defense. It's coming down to the offense here, and if they can get at least the silver now. They didn't work out on the first play here. Kaepernick down the right side. Quentin Patton with the catch now. And on the fifth and final play of practice, Owusu will deliver. So the 49ers get a silver medal there. And again, going up against a New York Giants team that has kind of been struggling this season, if the 49ers can pick up another victory here, not only will we have 2 in a row, kind of giving us some momentum, but also we would be back at 3-3 at the ever so loved 500 of the season. So they are looking to do that. We have one question by Alex Tracy. What are you targeting as a first round draft pick? And like every season, I don't want to say I'm targeting one thing, because at that point you kind of put your blinders on, you ignore other possibilities, and we don't want to do that. So what we typically do is we look for the best player available at a position of need, but also value. In other words, if I see one guy at a position that might be the best player, but I look down the draft and I see another guy at that same position that I might be able to get in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th round, that looks like a very good player as well, maybe I don't take that guy in the first round. So it really depends on who's there, who's looking good in the later rounds of the draft at the same position, and just trying to find the player that's going to help the team the most. Obviously, we do have some big needs on this team. We definitely would like to cover them all throughout the offseason, but as far as the first pick goes, I am not too sure yet. We'll have to figure out how the chips fall. So let's go ahead and check out the scores from around the NFL. In our first matchup, we have the Bears taking down the Bengals 13-10. The Bears improved to 2-3 on the year. The Bengals falling to 2-4 after winning the Super Bowl. And Danny Whittington actually getting some time here. The rookie out of Grand Valley State, 179 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. The Bears going 3-13 last year, already at 2-3 this year. Of course, the Bengals 9-6-1, but they did go on to win the Super Bowl. At 2-4 right now, not happy at all. I don't know what's going on in Cincinnati, but they're going to have to find a way to turn their season around quickly. Otherwise, they might not even get to the playoffs to defend their title there. And then, of course, Corey Orr, the rookie, getting 2 sacks for the Bears there. Interceptions, one by Ray Maluga. Fumbles forced. Ray Maluga would force a fumble and recover it as well. Next game, 31-28. The Texans taking down the Seahawks. The Texans at 4-2 on the year after going 5-11 last year. The Seahawks at 2-4 after going 9-7. Now, the Seahawks did not start off all that great last year either. They did go on to win the division, but with the Cardinals getting back in sync here, the Seahawks could be falling behind early on, not in a spot they want to be. And at a 2-4 record, the 49ers actually doing a little bit better, especially if we are to get a win this week. So Seahawks not where they would like to be at the moment, but they can turn their season around quickly. We saw them do it last year. We know how good of a team they are. So we are going to have to keep an eye on them still, but interesting to see them struggling early on again as we look at the fumbles here. And one by Mingo, he would recover 28-17. The Chiefs with the victory over the Dolphins. The Chiefs improved to 2-4 with Kevin Hogan at their quarterback position. Only 132 yards, but he did throw 4 touchdowns and no interceptions on the day. The Chiefs at 2-4, the Dolphins at 1-4. Chiefs 9-7 last year, Dolphins 4-12. So Dolphins, despite really struggling last year, really not looking a whole lot better. They had the number 2 overall pick in the draft. They selected DeMarco Pema, pretty much the best looking prospect of them all. The former rugby player, really. And, you know, we've seen him actually have some very good games, but it's going to be a slow process for the Dolphins. I think that's a lot of what we are seeing right now because they are not getting the wins right now. 17-13, the Panthers with a victory over the Bucs. So Panthers now at 2-2-1 on the season. The Bucs at 4-2, but the Buccaneers started off 4-0 on the season after going 7-9 last year. They had looked to really take the turn, but after losing 2 in a row, we're going to have to keep an eye on them. The Panthers 8-8 last year. Again, the Buccaneers were at 7-9. So still anybody's division, especially if the Bucs are all of a sudden in a bit of a funk. Any team could catch up. Obviously, the Falcons ended up winning that division last year. The Saints, very good as well. We're going to have to keep an eye on this division as we go. But the Buccaneers really were looking good early on. Not so much the case anymore. Next game, we have the Ravens with a huge upset over the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers offense has been pouring points onto other teams, and we just anticipate they're going to win. Joe Flacco went down with an injury here. EJ Manuel stepped in and had himself a very, very good game. We've been talking about the struggles of Joe Flacco throughout this series, so to see Manuel step in and make some plays is interesting. The Ravens at 2-3 on the year. They did go 3-13 last season, so much improved from where they were then. The Steelers currently at 4-2 after going 9-7, but the Steelers offense has just been piling on points to every single team. It seems like every once in a while their defense kind of has a hiccup and starts to struggle a little bit, and maybe those are the games they're giving away, but they should certainly beating both the Titans and the Ravens. So to see them get 2 losses like that is a little bit interesting. 42-10, the Falcons with a victory over the Jets. The Falcons at 3-3 on the year after representing the NFC in the Super Bowl last season. Not off to a good start for them either, much like the Bengals. The Jets at 2-3 now. Falcons went 10-6 last year. The Jets at 8-8. But it's going to be an interesting NFC South. Like we just talked about the Panthers and the Bucs. Falcons really not running away with it yet. They do have the Saints looking pretty good within that division, but this is certainly a division still very much up for grabs. They have 4 very good teams there. Obviously, the Bucs have improved. The Panthers struggling a little bit so far this season, but we know how much talent they have. We'll have to keep an eye on that. The Jets, on the other hand, they did go 8-8 last year. They're sitting at 2-3. But you know, they're in a very tough division as well. 28-24, the Packers with the victory over the Browns. The Packers at 3-2, the Browns at 1-4-1, and Houston Church, another solid game, 274 yards. He threw a touchdown. He didn't throw an interception. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of very good games from this very young quarterback, but the Browns are at 1-4-1. They went 9-6-1 last year. Certainly nobody really anticipated them going 9-6-1 last year. But it's interesting to see that they added what looks to be a very, very good quarterback to a team that was lacking one last season, and that with a better quarterback, they're doing a lot worse. I don't know if their defense just isn't getting it done like they were previously, but it's certainly something to keep an eye on there. Packers 3-2 after going 10-6 last year. 37-34, the Rams with a victory over the Vikings here. The Rams at 4-2, the Vikings fall to 4-2 here. Rams at 8-8 last year, the Vikings at 11-5. So a pretty good start here for the Rams. They've gotten themselves a few very, very good victories over some very good teams. Vikings, you know, they still look to be a good team. They're at 4-2. They went 11-5 last year. They're kind of staying the same course. But to see the Rams make improvements might be bad news for the 49ers. Defensively, McDonald would lead the game in tackles here. Klug would have a sack, interceptions, none on the day. Fumbles forced in this one. We are going to have nothing happening there. 24-6, the Raiders with a victory over the Denver Broncos. The Raiders at 4-1-1 on the season after going 7-9 last year. Zach Lindsey might have gone down with an injury. We see Paxton Lynch getting some time again. The Broncos at 4-2 after going 5-11 last year. So much improved for the Broncos here. Zach Lindsey, though, might have had a big thing to do with that. Obviously, they already have a great defense, but their offense was pretty much the issue last year. Bringing in Zach Lindsey, we saw how good he did, but if he's out with an injury, is Paxton Lynch going to be able to get it done? We'll have to wait and see. 21-14, the Cardinals with a victory over the Eagles. The Cardinals at 5-1 on the season, and Carson Palmer looks to have gone down with an injury. They got it done with Landry Jones anyway. And this is an Eagles team that has been playing very good. The Eagles just picked up their first loss of the season. So after going 4-12 last year and the Cardinals going 5-11 last year, both teams currently at 5-1 this season. Definitely turning things around there, both in Philadelphia and in Arizona. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with these two teams as we go through, because the Eagles might win their division. The Cardinals certainly looking to win the NFC West as well. So definitely a good storyline that we will have to keep an eye on there. 37-27, teams within the Eagles division. The Giants and the Cowboys. The Cowboys would get the victory to improve to 2-4 on the year. The Giants falling to 2-4, and this is a Giants team that we are getting ready to play. And obviously, Eli Manning looks like he is down with an injury. That could explain their 2-4 record after going 9-6-1 last year. And obviously the Cowboys as well, dealing with injuries to the quarterback position too. They went 10-6 last year. They are also at 2-4. So a bunch of teams really struggling here, and that's just going to help the Eagles out even more. Obviously the Redskins in that division, they were on a bye this week. They are currently 3-2, so not that far behind the Eagles, but Eagles off to a good start within this division, and the injuries not helping some of these other teams. 30-22, the Colts would get their first victory of the season. They improved to 1-5 as Ryan Mallett was the guy to get it done. Clausen no longer playing there in Indianapolis as well. The Jags fall to 1-5 on the year after going 9-7 last year. I am not entirely sure what has led to the Jags' demise after really doing better than most anticipated last season. But of course, maybe all of a sudden they're just kind of coming back down to earth. I don't know what's going on there, but to lose to a Colts team without Andrew Luck is not a good sign, and the Jags just continue to struggle this season. As we look at the fumbles forced, Jalen Ramsey making some plays there. 31-27, the Patriots would get the victory over the Saints. The Saints, their first loss of the year. And here is James Vallejo, 290 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. The Patriots started off their season 0-2. And James Vallejo did look good in those 2 games, but we were just curious as to how far of a step back they would take after losing Tom Brady. Since then, they have won 4 in a row. They are now 4-2 on the year. The Saints at 3-1-1, so their first loss. Patriots 10-6 last year, Saints at 8-8, but certainly a big turnaround for the Patriots. And again, James Vallejo just continues to get it done for them. A very good rookie quarterback for them. Bobby Richardson forcing and recovering a fumble. Let's go ahead and check out the players of the week. Nassib, 35 of 48, 4 passing touchdowns. It doesn't matter who Dallas puts at quarterback. They continue to make some plays there. McClain, 18 tackles and an interception. Jernigan, 7 tackles, 4 sacks. And then Brown, of course, 12 catches, 222 yards, and a touchdown for him. I am a bit surprised we didn't see Mike Morgan there, though. Say a prayer. Another amazing finish in college football this week as Ohio State Bruce Allred completed a Hail Mary pass deep downfield to his receiver to win the game. Bruce Allred is the number 1 quarterback in this class. He's projected to go number 1 overall. We'll have to keep an eye on him, though. Jedwayne Mail, 6'4" receiver, receiving tight end out of Ohio, a guy worth keeping an eye on. Then there's Donquell Dawson out of Auburn, only 5'9", a bit of a route runner though, good release as well. This guy has good speed. He could definitely be a great slot receiver for this 49ers team. Carlton Eubanks out of Michigan State, a right guard, good impact block, okay pass block, run block might need improvement, but somebody worth keeping an eye on there. And then, of course, the 49ers trying to bring some players back. Aaron Lynch, let's see what we can do here. And then we got to look at Carlos Hyde even further, especially with the injury to Kirkland Marion, which we will get to here in a little bit. And it's not looking good. Aaron Lynch still not signing a contract. We will continue to negotiate with him throughout the season, though. And then, of course, Carlos Hyde, again, we don't really want to bring him back on a 5-year deal, but, you know, that seems to be all that interests him. We've been offering him more money on shorter contracts. That hasn't worked. I'll continue to increase it a little bit to see if it draws any interest here. I mean, $15 million over 2 years. He's making nearly half of what he's asking in 5 years. He's still not liking it, though. We will have to continue to negotiate with him because even though we do have Kirkland Marion, we would like him back. And then we have a trade. Tremaine Brock has been traded to the Eagles for Bo Allen, a 4th rounder this year and a 5th rounder next year. We actually had some other offers that included 2nd round picks. I didn't think that was just within the realm of possibility. And with us already having done something like that with Dante Johnson, I didn't want to do it again. That was probably the most realistic trade on the board. How realistic, I don't know, but obviously the Eagles do need help in the secondary, so it did make some sense. Eli Manning is out here for the Giants, and we are going to have to figure out what's going on with that injury there as we take a look at their team. Odell Beckham Jr. and Victor Cruz, a great 1-2 combo. They also have second-year pro Sterling Shepard here. He had a great rookie year for them. We'll have to keep an eye on him as well. At tight end, Donnell is actually going to be the backup. That's a bit shocking. I wasn't anticipating that. He looked like the better player there. Flowers at left tackle. At center, they have Richburg here, so a pretty solid offensive line on the left side of things. On the right side, not as much. They do have Joey Cantu, a rookie out of UCLA, 76 overall, good run block, good strength as well, a guy worth keeping an eye on there. And then, of course, a great defensive line here. And, you know, not having Kirkland Marion, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Dior Shea, a rookie out of Florida, a guy that many 49er fans wanted the 49ers to draft. It didn't happen. He ended up in New York, and we are going up against him today. So it's going to be interesting to see how that matchup plays out. But overall, outside of the defensive line for the Giants, they have a lot of question marks on their defense. And we'll have to see if the 49ers can exploit it. The 49ers offense been struggling as is a little bit. And then, of course, losing Kirkland Marion's not going to help either. But obviously, we do have a lot of faith in Carlos Hyde still. So we do have to keep an eye on him. Let's go ahead and check out the injuries. And there he is, Kirkland Marion, a broken collarbone, will miss 7 weeks. Now, we don't have Tartan Kendall. They will be gone for 1 more week. We will get them back after that. But the injury to Kirkland Marion, certainly a big blow to this 49ers team. Not something we were looking forward to at all, especially after losing our number 8 overall pick earlier in the season. Again, he is coming back next week. And then Eli Manning is out with a dislocated ankle for 4 more weeks. A big blow to the Giants. Again, they've really been struggling so far this season. And, you know, this might be the 49ers' opportunity to pick up another win and get back to 500 on the season. The Giants currently at 1-5. It should be an interesting matchup, though, because the 49ers are still on the road. We'll have to see how they do. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch y'all later. Peace.